Man, we are back. We are back. Holy Culture Radio, SiriusXM channel 154. We're talking to the OG, L King from ETW, Elroy Ford, my great friend for 25 plus years.
Forever.
Right, forever. Right, right. When we met, we knew we had already met.
Right.
Yeah.
How that go? Yep.
We're talking about the art of rap, and you were bringing us some great history about your work at the birth of ETW, was entering into even Christendom, birth of accepting or not accepting music that was different than CCM, right? And yet you were talking about your passion driving the message, right? You were talking about you were in prison, in these prisons,
Yeah.
sharing the gospel, rhyming with cats, and bringing hope to them in this context. You know what I mean? So let's continue to talk through about that. We got a song we're going to check out too. So what about that passion, man, that drove you beyond whatever the label was going to be doing?
Yeah. Being on the road changes you. It's not a normal thing that people actually, your average Joe Blow experiences. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Road, you going from city to city, country to country, and you seeing like the same hangups from country to country, from hood to hood, from
Right.
from doctors' houses to the man who had a potato field. Everybody, lasagna. You when you see the world, you start to realize what that Bible's
Right.
talking about. It's the
Yeah.
nations, and it's people from all walks of life, but struggling with the same things.
Yeah.
Self-esteem, issues of who they are, issues of dysfunction coming up in a family, fighting the brain, the mind. And so being able to go into these areas that people don't normally go in was really a
Right.
blessing,
Right.
from maximum security prison to, doing a concert in a deaf school.
Wow.
I remember, man, doing a deaf school, and we all sat on the floor, on a wooden floor, and we was hitting beats on the floor, on a wooden floor, and they were feeling the beat, and it was like, I mean, we went anywhere necessary that will open the door and listen and hear.
Wow.
And I remember, man, times of I don't know. You can look it up on Google, but they used to have these. It was
Wow.
called. I think it was Washington for Jesus, but it was big at the Capitol steps, and like
Mm.
hundreds of thousands of Christians come together for prayer, like to pray on the prayer days and stuff. And so they had us all, some Christian artists and stuff, and they had us in on that deal. And I
Wow.
remember when they called us, man, ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to introduce you ETW. And we walked out of that stage, and I looked over that crowd and saw all these people jumping for Jesus. Like, we had all these people jumping. I said, man, this is something that nobody, it's rare to see this, but
Mm.
you got something serious that you're doing right now, and
Right.
you need
Right.
to use it as far as you can, stretch it as
Right.
much as you can, as long as you can,
Right.
because you got something here and people are listening. And
Yeah.
so rap, hip hop, Christian rap, Christian hip hop, all of the above, the world is listening. So
Mm-hmm.
we really we really took these experiences and these events um, to wherever the world would open up, and we had an opportunity from Japan,
Mm.
various places in Europe. Phil, I ain't lying. I remember sitting there in front of a pope in Prague, and he
Wow.
had us speaking to some students, some college students, in a basement of a cathedral that had gold statues, man, of prophets all up in them. I ain't
Wow.
never seen. I was like, "Can I touch that?" They wanted, well, I don't know,
Right.
gold,
Right.
solid gold,
Just cut
prophet.
some off. Let me cut
Yeah,
a little bit,
just
but
a
it's just a
finger,
little bit.
I
Right. Right.
man, dude. But in that basement, news channels were down there, everyone, and they were asking legit questions because this is something they've never seen before. And you
Wow.
found yourself from a rapper, he was a prophet.
Yeah.
See, it changed your mindset of what you're doing. You know, we rapping to beats,
Yeah.
but when you got down there and Monsignor so and so and the students are asking questions and all these microphones are in your face, it was like,
Right.
man, this is prophetic, and
Right.
something is happening, and God's using this genre. So, you know, it was definitely something that was in our soul.
So we about to listen to this song